right, it is Tuesday, January 24th, 2023, and from the home studio in Middletown, Delaware, I'm Marshal Manlove from My Sports Reports and Delaware Sports. This is a special interview edition of our show, and shortly we will meet members of the Aspira Wolves basketball team and their head coach, Donte Murphy, and we'll talk about what it's like to build a program. They're basically a brand new program. Lots of challenges to overcome, lots of hurdles to leap along the way, and we'll meet the brave young men who are taking on those challenges. But first, this is brought to you today, as usual, by me, Marshal Manlove, stage hypnotist. If you would like a funny, fascinating, and memorable experience for a party or an event that you're having, please consider my stage hypnosis show. Details about which you can find at marshalmanlove.com. And thanks to my friends at Jazzercise in Middletown, one of the proprietors there runs a very active Facebook group page for parents of high school athletes. They're kind enough to post up links to the videos that I produce there. So please visit them at jazzercise.com. And also, if you are in the market to buy or sell a home in Delaware, Maryland, or Pennsylvania, I can help you out in all three of those states because I am licensed to do so in all three states. Now, hopefully, when I press this next button, my guests will appear. And indeed, they have appeared. Yeah, so far, so good. I haven't made any mistakes. That is kind of rare for me. You guys might not know that because you've probably never seen my show, but it is definitely rare for me not to have made any mistakes. What are we, like 3 minutes in? Yeah. So in the center there is the Aspira Wolves head basketball coach, Donte Murphy. Donte, thanks for coming on, making these arrangements, and being prepared to talk about your basketball program.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
So introduce the two young men to your left and right, whichever direction you want to start. It's fine with me.
All right, we'll start with here. This is James. He is a freshman here at Aspira, and he is our captain. Then we have Adriel here. He is a sophomore and one of our really fast-growing, becoming one of the better players on our team. Adriel again is a sophomore.
Okay. Now, this is basically your first full season as a basketball program there at Aspira, correct?
Right.
So you don't have a varsity program yet because you don't have any seniors there yet in the school. Is that correct?
Yes.
So the oldest kids that you have are in the junior class. And I see that you only have actually three juniors. Is that right?
Yes. So the high school is brand new. It got started in 2020. Actually started with the first grade of freshmen, 65 students, I believe. Now we have a little over 200 or so. I think we're at almost at 200, 168. And then next year we're going to actually have seniors and a complete 4-year high school.
So Aspira is a charter school, essentially, correct?
Yes.
All right. And guys, why did you decide to go to Aspire? I'll start with you first, James.
I decided to go to Aspira because it's like I've always been here since kindergarten, and I really didn't see myself going anywhere else. And it was just like where I grew up at, so I wanted to stay and be a part of the high school.
And I apologize. I just realized that I've been saying it wrong. It's Aspira, not Aspira. Sorry about that. Didn't mean to offend anybody over there. But it is basically a bilingual school. Is that correct?
Yes.
Yep.
So, yeah, because I remember it used to be over in a warehouse, and I used to live near there. I could actually walk to Aspira, and it was shared with, it was an old Happy Harry's warehouse that was converted into the school there. And so what's the new school like there, Adriel?
Well, it's new. We're in the process of rebuilding and like the other school, making it a newer and better building. But it's kind of like a little town. Everybody knows each other. Everybody like gets along. All the teachers are really good teachers. They know what they're doing, and it's just a growing school. Eventually we're gonna be with the bigger schools, but it's just we're in the process of doing that right now.
It's tough to do anything new, that's for sure, especially when you have long term plans, right? But everything has to start from somewhere. Like all of the successful private schools right now, all the successful charter schools, all had to start somewhere, and they all have a lot of growing pains. What are some of the growing pains that you are experiencing here so far, Donte?
Some of the growing pains of this kind of relatively new school getting the basketball program off the ground is really not being able to have a lot of contact with the athletes prior to them coming here. So not a true program as far as what's happening at the K-8 school and the middle school program and the transitioning, preparing these guys over to high school. Students are coming in from where they did come from, the K-8 Aspira, or they're coming from another school or from another state in here. We kind of really have an idea of the skill level. So especially this particular year, I spent a lot of time working on some of the fundamentals of the game in basketball. And another difficulty is because we're not a part of a conference, we kind of have to spend a lot of time, a lot of work, grinding and reaching out to a lot of different schools to create games for us so we can continue to improve and get better.
So, what are the possibilities that you're going to join a conference here within the next few years or so? How's that conversation been going?
That's still up in the air. That's something we've talked about a few different times this particular year. That's something I want to make sure that happens for us as soon as possible, just so we can kind of have something in place to make it a little bit more easier for us to just, hey, we know we're going to have 12 games because there's these other people in the conference, and then we can kind of go out and find other games outside of the conference, whether it's in the state or teams outside of the state, to help us continue to be competitive and prepare so we can get into the tournament for the state.
Yeah, it would kind of seem to make sense that you would fit into the Diamond State Conference there.
Yeah.
And I thought about that because I see you have Newark Charter on your schedule. Well, they were on your schedule at some point anywhere, and anyway, and they are in the Diamond State Conference and relatively close to you. Actually, they're very close to you now that you moved over there, right?
We actually practice in their elementary gym.
Okay, all right,
Yeah,
cool.
our gym's still being built. I believe towards the end of May, the second half of the building we complete, which includes the gym and training rooms and a whole another couple other wings of the school. So next year we'll be in our own court. We'll have home games, be able to practice full court. With less limitations.
All right. So it looks to me like I'm trying to go back through the schedule here a little bit. So the JV team, I let's see. Last year, it didn't look like you played a game. So really, this was the first year as a full JV with a full JV schedule, correct?
Last year, the JV team played 3 freshman teams. Those same games were scheduled for this year. We went 1-2 against those 3 opponents. And then now you see we have, I think it's 17 games for the JV program this year.
Okay. So a recent victory against Friere Charter School, was that the first official win for the JV team in its current form?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, that was the first win, and then we played Tome School last week.
So you started a little winning streak there.
Yes.
Yeah, very cool. So how did everybody celebrate the first win of the season?
Yeah, how do you guys celebrate?
For the first win, I actually went out to dinner.
Good. You deserved it. And James, what position do you play?
I play forward, which is the power forward.
Okay. How tall are you?
6 foot.
Yeah, I think about 6 foot.
6 foot.
Okay. And you've been playing basketball your whole life?
Yes, it is my first sport and my favorite.
All right. Do you play any other sports?
I like playing all the sports other than soccer.
I hear you there. I hear you there. I think they should ban soccer. I think that's my personal opinion. I don't like that sport. Adriel, you probably like it though, right? You like soccer? Rats. I always make a habit of offending someone along the way. I'm just not a soccer fan, man. Like, basketball's an American sport. Baseball, football, those are my sports, man. You know, right? So, Adriel, tell me a little bit more about yourself. How old are you? What grade are you in?
I'm 15 and I'm a sophomore. I'm 10th.
And what position do you play?
I play shooting guard, small forward.
All right. And how are these guys doing scoring wise here? Have you got any statistics, any points per game? Uh,
Uh,
there, coach.
So I think the one of the funnest things that we always talk about as a team is really it's because this is really our first season. We're really kind of preparing to set what the legacy is going to be like. So we have our trophy case that's being built. And we want to make sure that we have records and things that we can add in there. Our names will be there. As the first year. So last year, like the joke is the most they scored was 16 points. So I think one of the first losses we had, we celebrate because we scored 19 points. So, all right, we're getting better.
Right.
Let's keep it. So winning games, I think our average is probably close to 40 points. Really in the last probably 5 games or so, we're starting to see a lot more confidence and better shooting and opportunities to score, especially running off the press that we run. We get a lot of layup opportunities.
And you're a young guy. How old are you there, Donte?
I'm 34.
Really? You look younger than that. You're
Thank
blessed.
you.
You are blessed. And tell me a little bit about your coaching background prior to your arrival here at Aspira.
Sure. So, I was actually an undergrad in Rhode Island. I had the opportunity to coach a middle school team, Roger Williams Middle School in Providence, Rhode Island. Actually, similar thing. It was their first year actually with a basketball program. So I had a bunch of different middle schools. We put together a little league, and we actually won the championship there. I had an opportunity to coach a YMCA travel team. We won a championship. And then when I ended up moving back to Jersey, where I'm from, I got to go back to my high school and middle school where I played basketball, and we helped those guys win 2 championships. And then in 2020, I was over at LaSalle, the team manager, so I got to be around the Division I basketball program and see how that works, and work with a lot of those players and the coaches. And then when this opportunity was available, I said, this is the kind of place I want to be at to really kind of build something long term and have a lasting effect, for the community.
So, what's the 5-year plan here for the Wolves?
5-year plan is to win a state championship.
How are you going to get there?
We're gonna have to do a lot of work with the fundamentals. One of the biggest and most important factors to our success to be able to reach that goal for 5 years is really to be able to do a great job developing earlier students. So hopefully over the summer we're gonna have some different programs and things like that, and we can kind of set things into stone moving forward to have ways to opportunities to work with some of the 4th and 5th graders so they can kind of have opportunity to play rec games and things like that. Get them better prepared for middle school. I have a much better relationship with the middle school coaches there. They actually run the same exact offense that we run. I work with them closely as well to do more development, prepare those guys so they can come up to high school. And that's really what it's going to come down to. A lot of player development, making sure guys are prepared and ready when they come up to the varsity level. And then we can start teaching a lot of the strategy and the basketball IQ techniques that will make us very successful.
Yeah, there is an advantage to having access to the elementary school kids and middle school kids who are going to continue to grow up and go into the high school. So the size of your school doesn't really matter because in that respect, because some of these smaller private schools have very successful programs, maybe not all of them, but you talk about Ursuline Academy, the girls program there, they're very successful. but the kids are there their whole lives. Tower Hill School's another one. Tatnall School's another one. You're seeing it right around the corner at Newark Charter. Same thing there. So there is an advantage to that. And if you're running the same offenses and play sets, yeah, you can definitely reach some of those goals rather quickly. So, Coach, tell me a little bit about these guys. What should I know about them? What should people watching know about them? And when they see their names in the box scores, they say, "Oh yeah, I remember James. I remember Azrael."
Yeah, I think one of the things that's most unique about these particular two guys and the team in general is their willingness, and really I call it, I have a thing I call it's the four pillars of what's the word I'm looking for, commitment, right? So you got to be committed to your team. You got to be committed to giving their full effort. You got to be committed to the details of what we're working on and how to improve and get better. And lastly, the desire for excellence. So we may play good today, but what we need to do to continue to get better and get better as a team. How can I help another teammate improve so we can become better as a team? And these two guys are two of our athletes that are really honed in on that. They're constantly telling the other teammates and reminding them. And I've seen them really go from, when we first got started in November and tryouts, it was like, these guys can't make layups, to now, they're making shots, they're confident, they're driving to the basket, they're finishing, they're playing with so much emotion and confidence. And these two really have really improved very quickly in just the few months of working here. Working with them. James was the captain from tryouts. He was like telling people what to do, and they were listening to him. He really was a leader from the jump. And when we were talking about who the captain is, the whole team was like, it has to be James. Adriel's probably one of the hardest working athletes that we have. He's one of our best defenders, and now he's found the ability to be a pretty decent scorer on offense. He spends a lot of time outside of practice working on his game, trying to perfect some of the details of the issues that he has with shooting, and it showed up in the last game. I think he had 3 threes.
Yeah, 2 or 3.
Yeah. He had some buckets. So it's really exciting to see the growth.
Awesome. So, Adriel and James, take turns there talking about some of the other guys on your team. We know it's not just the two of you who step out there to take on all these other schools around the area, but give some credit where credit's due to some of the other players.
Well, in my opinion, we have, even though we're a very new school, we have a lot of hardworking players here. Not a lot of us have been playing for that long of a time, so we're all developing these skills together, and we're really working hard to be the best. And some of them might have like a little bit more ego than the other, but they still love the game as much as the next guy up. So they're doing their best to be better. Even if they're a taller, not so athletic dude, he tries his best to run as fast as he can with everybody else and keep up, so he can grow as fast as the other people and not get left behind. The goal is, eventually get varsity and be one of the best teams in the state, but you guys start somewhere, and a lot of our players are really trying to develop that skill so they can move up to the varsity level and feel like they deserve to be there and just play better.
So name some names. Who are some of your teammates there?
We have a lot of hard workers. We have Braden. Braden's a young kid who just runs like crazy.
Braden's an 8th grader.
Yeah, he's all hustled. Like, he just goes for the ball even if he's part of sacrificing his body. Like, I'm gonna get that ball even if that guy is taller and bigger than me. And it's something you have to like really admire. And Tristan, which is our skinny 6'3" big man, he's also, even though he's not as he's newer to the game, but he's trying to develop those skills with everybody. He's not so athletic, but he's trying to keep up with the running and with the athleticism that more of us have. And he's really developing that stamina and being able to lock down the paint. And it's something that, last game or in free air, we saw him like actually show emotion for once. It was like, oh my God, who is the guy that we saw in tryouts? And it's something that we have to be proud of, because he's been working for it. In the silent, he's been working outside of practice, and it's something that we all know he really deserves.
James?
I'd say one of our most improving players. I have to give that to Andrew. He like Coach says in practice, number one listener that we have is Andrew. Andrew's always committed. Andrew's always back on defense. Andrew's misses a shot. Okay, I'll get it back. I'll get it right next time. He's really like that committed player to the team. And when we have Andrew there, it's like, oh, we know Andrew's there whenever we need him. If who's gonna take control if everyone's down? We lost the game. Oh, Andrew's right there for us. Because Andrew's just that guy. He's like the spirit of the team. I might be the captain, but Andrew's the heart of the team.
So just for clarification, that was Andrew Shaw, and then Adriel was talking about Tristan Bauer-Moore and Braden Werner.
Yep.
So fill in any blanks for me here, guys. I always seem to forget one important question that somebody's sitting there thinking, I wish he would have asked me this or that or the other thing. Fill in any blanks for me.
Yeah.
He's okay, bro.
I'm trying to think some of the specifics. I'd say, well, I think I mentioned this, but Braden's an 8th grader. I think one of the things that's super awesome about obviously this particular school, if you're kind of an academically gifted student, you kind of actually have the ability to play sports at the high school in 8th grade. And kind of a really awesome story about him, just to show his dedication to constantly improve, is he tried out for the middle school, didn't make the team, came over to the high school, and made the team. I saw that the amount of effort that he was putting in. I was like, that's something we can work with. And now he gets a pretty significant amount of minutes every game. He's actually, I don't know the numbers. I have to check the film, but he probably has like 30 jump balls for us. If a kid is holding the ball and that he just dives on it, gets jump balls, blue ball, and it's just like turns the game and the momentum swings all the time.
Yeah, you need a grinder.
Yeah. Other things to note is, so we had, I think it was about 18 people total when we initially started the team. A couple people dropped off. One thing that, was super awesome is we had 2 managers. So our managers, we set up 2 kind of managers. Managers that are just kind of helping during the games, doing certain things that we need in practice. They're not really practicing with the team, but just kind of helping out where they can. And then there's practice managers. The practice managers actually are there. They weren't quite ready to play on the team yet, but they're committed. They're working. They have an opportunity to work with us and improve and get better. And Juan, as well as Davon, are 2 playing managers that got the opportunity to actually join officially on the team and get jerseys and actually get some minutes in the games.
Oh, good.
So super awesome as a team to kind of announce that for both of those guys in those different scenarios, and just to see their dedication to constantly improve. Even though it's like I don't know if I'll make the team, but I'm gonna keep working, keep getting better. And the progress, same thing. These guys really work really hard, and so it allows them the opportunity to officially get some minutes, and look forward to seeing how these guys continue to develop into next year.
All right, fantastic. Well, gentlemen, I want to thank you for stopping by the show. And Coach Murphy, I appreciate your efforts in making arrangements to do this here today. It was good to meet all of you. And I wish you all the best of success in whatever you do, whether it's here in the basketball program or whatever else you decide to take on there. And you sound like fine young men, and I expect nothing short of success for you, for sure.
Absolutely.
All right, gentlemen, wave goodbye to our growing fan base here at My Sports Reports and Delaware Sports, and I'm going to hit end meeting for all. And enjoy the rest of your afternoon. Good luck in your next game, which is against Concord, as a matter of fact. So
Concord High School. Yep, you got it.
Who is it?
Yeah, it's Concord. You got it right.
Yeah, it is Concord. Yeah, okay. I don't have my glasses on. You definitely could have been right there. For sure. All right, guys, take good care. Have a great afternoon.
Thanks, Marshall.
All right, so that was the Aspira Wolves basketball program. Head coach Donte Murphy and their players, James Patrick. Wait a second. Let me make sure I get it right here. I don't want to mess it up. James Patrick Henry and Adriel Aviles-Rivera. Special thanks go out to my wonderful, beautiful wife, Donnie M., my friends Joey V., Tommy K., supporters from day one. You can support the show simply by subscribing on whatever platform you find these videos. You don't have to watch all the time, but please subscribe. It helps us get exposure for our local athletes to many more people. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, I am Marshal Manlove, and now from the home studio in Middletown, Delaware, I play this very loud song. Have a great day.